Hey guys, welcome back to our second video. Today we're going to be talking about integer operations, and we're also going to be solving one-step equations. So let's start with what are integers? Well, integers are positive and negative whole numbers. What are whole numbers? Well, whole numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 4, so 0. Basically, they are numbers which are not decimals and not fractions. So, we're gonna be talking about how we can add, subtract, multiply, and divide these integers using some specific rules that I will provide you. So, for adding integers, our first rule is if the signs are the same, add the numbers and keep the sign. So, if we have a -4, we'll do this in yellow, adding a -4 plus a -3. You might notice why that I put the parentheses. Why do we put these parentheses? Well, it's because parentheses helps us. It helps us visualize in the eye. So the -4 and the -3, it gives us a -7. Why does it give us a -7? Well, the signs are the same. So the sign goes back here. So the negative, negative, negative. And then you add the numbers. 4 plus 3 gives us a 7. So this another example that we can do is a 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 gives us 7 too. Why? Well, they both have positive signs, so the positive comes here and you add the numbers, 7. Our second rule is that if the signs are different, subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the bigger number. So for example, if we have a -6 plus a 9, we're gonna do 9 minus 6. The bigger number is 9, so the answer 9 minus 6, it gives us 3. So the bigger number is 9 and the sign is a positive, so our answer is a +3. Another example of this can be 7 plus a -10. The bigger number is -10, so we know that our answer is going to result in a negative number. And we're going to do 10 minus 7. Why? Well, you can't do 7 minus 10, so let's do 10 minus 7, which gives us a 3. Once again, the rule is if the signs are different, subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the bigger number. Alright, so next we're gonna be moving on to subtracting integers. Let's do blue. Subtraction. So for subtraction, we only have one rule here, and this is change the subtraction into adding the opposite. So basically, any subtraction problem that you have with integers, you can like convert it into an adding problem, and then you just apply the above rules that we just learned. So for subtraction, we're going to change, let's say we have 7 minus 2. One rule to remember is that when you have two negative signs, it results in a positive, or like the same thing but positive. So 7, the negative signs change to a positive, and then the 2. 7 plus 2 gives us a 9. So our answer is 9. Another example is -5 minus 3. You're gonna basically take this and change it into an addition problem. So you can rewrite that as a -5 plus a -3. So this gives us a -8 because we apply the rule up here. Same signs, we put the negative there and you add the numbers. So 5 plus 3 gives us an 8. One other example that we can take is a -8 minus a negative 6. This we can change into a addition problem by taking the negative 8, the negative to a positive 6. So negative 8 plus 6, this gives us a negative 2. For multiplying integers. Ooh, what was that? Let's put a line here. So multiplying integers. Let's do this in green. So multiplication. For multiplication, what we have is if the signs are the same, the product is positive. So if we have a negative 4 multiplied by a negative 3, 4 times 3 is 12, and because the signs are the same, we get a positive answer. Same goes for 5 times 2. It gives us a positive 10. Because the signs are both positive, so it results in a positive answer. So the second rule for multiplication is if the signs are different, then the product is negative. So negative 6 plus, or not plus, multiplied by a positive 3. 6 times 3 is 18, but because the signs are different, the answer is negative. So then another example is 8 times a negative 2. 8 times 2 gives us 16. And then because there's a negative sign, you put the negative in front. For division, let's do this in orange. Division. Our rule for division is literally the same thing as multiplication. The same signs means a positive answer, different signs means a negative answer. So a negative 12 divided by a negative 3, it gives us a positive 4. Why? The signs are the same, so that gives us a positive answer. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. What about negative 20 divided by 5? This is going to give us a negative 4 because 20 divided by 5 is a 4. And they have different signs, so that gives us a negative answer. Here are some questions that you can practice. Negative 3 plus 7, 2, negative 6 minus 4, negative 5 multiplied by negative 2, and we can also do 16 divided by a negative 4. So I'm going to give you the answers now, but before I give you the answers, pause the screen and then try these by yourself. So the answer for the first one is 4. The answer for the second one is a negative 2. For 3, it is 10. Oh, what just happened? For 3, it is 10. And then for 4, it is negative 4. These are your answers. Hopefully you got them right. So now let's get into solving our one-step equations. The goal is to get the variable by itself. So let's say we have x plus 4 is equal to 9. What are we going to do? The goal is to get the variable by itself. And to do that, you're going to have to take this positive 4 and somehow cancel it out. How are we going to cancel it out? Well, you can cancel it out by doing the opposite on both sides. Think of it like a balancing scale. You see, you have to keep both sides of the equation balanced. So this side, if there's 4 apples, then it has to have 4 apples here. So let's say that we have x plus 4 here, and it has to equal 9. How are we going to get x by itself? Well, we can start by taking away 4 on both sides, and then that gives us x is equal to 9 minus 4, which is 5. So if x is 5 and we plug this 5 into our original equation here, you should get a 9. So let's say we have 5 plus 4. Is that equal to 9? Yes, it is. So our answer here is correct. So how did we figure out that we had to subtract a 4? Well, I figured out that we had to subtract a 4 because you're trying to get the variable by itself. And to get the variable by itself, you have to do the inverse operation. So if it was a negative 4, then you would add 4. But because it's a positive 4, you're going to do a negative, subtract 4 on both sides. Let's do another example. Let's say we have x minus 7 is equal to negative 2. To solve this, you're going to have to do the inverse of this negative 7 to get the x variable all by itself. To do the opposite of negative 7, it's to add 7 on both sides, and this gives us x is equal to a positive 5. Here are some examples with multiplication and division. Let's say we have 3x equals 15. When you say 3x, it's basically saying 3 times the x is giving us 15. What are we going to do? We have to do the opposite of multiplication to get the x variable to be all by itself. How are we going to do that? Well, we can start by dividing 3 by both sides. So then this 3 cancels out, and then we have x is equal to 5 because 15 divided by 3 gives us the 5. Another example is x divided by 4 is equal to negative 3. How would you solve this question? Well, you're going to have to get the x all by itself. How do we get the x all by itself? Well, you have to do the opposite of this divided by 4. What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So let's multiply both sides by 4. So then we have x equals, these two cancel out, negative 3 times 4 gives us a negative 12. So here are some practice problems for you to do by yourself. First one is x minus 6 is equal to 10. Negative 2x equals 8. X plus 3 is equal to negative 7. For x divided by negative 5 is equal to a negative 4. So try and solve these on your own. Pause the video. But now I will give you the answers. So for the first one, we have x is equal to 16. The second one, we have x is equal to a negative 4. For the third one, we have x is equal to a negative 10. And for the fourth one, we have x is equal to a positive 20. that was the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. So by watching this video, you just learned how to work with integers and solve one-step equations. Keep practicing to get faster and more confident. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.